Hello everyone, this is Fatima Sise. I'm doing this video again on behalf of the Girls Agenda. Last week we were talking about mental health and COVID-19, targeting the general population, making sure that if they have any signs as a result of anxiety or fear because of the COVID-19, they would have coping mechanism that they can utilize to help them. But today, we'll be focusing on our healthcare workers. Of course, those of us that work in traumatic fields, we know what can happen if you are extremely exhausted or tired or being overwhelmed. Our focus of discussion would be on burnout, secondary traumatic stress, and self care techniques that can be utilized. When we talk of burnout, it means feelings of extreme exhaustion and being overwhelmed. And when we talk of secondary traumatic stress, it means stress, reactions, and symptoms resulting from exposure to another individual's traumatic experiences rather than from exposure directly to a traumatic event. So, this is not something that you get directly. For example, being a healthcare worker, one of your patients is traumatized because of the COVID-19, and you take along that stress and then carry it along. So that's the simple definition of secondary traumatic stress. And there are signs that you see when burnout happens to you and when secondary traumatic stress happens to you. But first, we will talk about the signs of burnout. Among the signs of burnout are sadness, depression, easily frustrated, blaming of others, easily irritated, lacking feelings, isolation or disconnection, poor self care or hygiene, and having the feeling of, oh, I'm a failure. I am not doing enough. I don't think the job that I'm doing worth it. I don't think I'm helping the patients enough, or even using drugs. So all of these feelings happen as a result of burnout, being tired or extreme overwhelmed. Now we move on to the signs of secondary traumatic stress. Among the signs are excessively worry or fear about something bad happening, easily startled or on guard all the time, physical signs of stress like your heart pumping very very fast, nightmares or recurrent thoughts about a traumatic situation, or the feeling that others' trauma is yours, carrying everything that you see in the ER or in the hospital. Now we move on to the self-care techniques. Of course, all these things can happen to our healthcare workers, but what are the coping mechanisms? What are the self-care techniques that they can utilize? Number one, limit working hours to no longer than 12-hour shift. Please, if you know that you're tired, don't do more than 12 hours shift. Please, let's limit our working hours. Number two, talk to family members, your supervisors, your friends. Say your feelings. Don't just keep it to yourself. Please be sharing your feelings. It's a tough time. We're in a trying moment, but don't keep it to yourself because it might hurt you. Because remember, if you're not functioning well, it might affect those patients that you're serving. If you're not functioning well as a caregiver, it might affect those patients again, either directly or indirectly. So please be open up and be expressing your feelings. Another self-care technique that can be utilized is practice breathing and relaxation techniques, or meditation, or doing your prayers, your duas. That could also help. Another thing is know that there's nothing wrong with setting your boundaries to say no. When you feel like you can't do it anymore, say no. It's okay to say no. And don't feel like, oh, if I'm not there, who is going to do it? We know we need a lot of healthcare workers right now, But remember, when you are not there, somebody else will be there to help. Another thing is maintain a healthy diet. Don't be walking all day without eating. And when you're eating, be eating something healthy also. Is important to boost your immune system. It's important to nourish the mind and the body to be able to function adequately. Another important thing that we need to factor as healthcare workers is it's not selfish to take a break. No, don't think you're being selfish taking a break. By taking a break, you're taking care of yourself. Always think about yourself first. It's important to help other people out there. It's important to think about people out there. But remember, you can only help when you're able to stand or when you're healthy. And also, never think of that, oh, all the work that I'm doing, it means nothing. Or if I don't go to work, it means I'm not contributing to the fight to end COVID 19. If you wake up in the morning, you feel like you're sick, you cannot go to work, don't force yourself out. That doesn't mean that you're not contributing your quarter. You are all contributing your quarter in one way or the other. And we appreciate the compassion and the love that you have. We cannot thank you enough. Please think about yourself. Please take care of yourself. I hope these points that I shared will be benefiting to you. And if you need more, like I always said, CDC has a lot of information about mental health and the COVID 19 and how do we cope about this traumatic stress. There are a lot of information there. I felt this is my responsibility to share with the people, to share with the healthcare workers, because some might not have the time to go to the website to read, or some people might have some internet problems to read. But by sharing this video, I hope it will benefit people. And if you have a friend who is a healthcare worker, a colleague, a family member, you can share the video as well with them. And we would also like to thank those donors out there that are providing the resources that the healthcare workers need. We cannot thank you enough. Please stay safe and take a break if you need. And I will end with the quote by Maya Angelou. She said, "They may forget your name, but they will never forget how you made them feel." So those patients that you're taking care of, don't think that you are not doing enough. They might not remember your name, of course, but they will always remember how you made them feel. And it's the same way that we're feeling. Even though we're not at the hospital, but we value all that you're doing. Please take care of yourself. Together we can end this COVID 19. We are praying for God to end it. He knows the time, He knows when to end it. So we are praying for God to end it. But let us not forget about ourselves, that we need to take care of ourselves first before we can take care of others. Thank you.